Hello and welcome to another episode of Weekly Comic Reviews. Unfortunately, if you can, I've been slacking slightly a bit, mostly because there was an anime convention at my home city, which is basically I actually had a panel there and was trying to get prepared because it was my first one. Few people showed up, so yay, something like you know who I am. And I'm going to review comics that actually came out last week, but I will post up a new video this week as well. Just giving a heads up. Also, I actually made a little uh, mock trailer on a on a little mini series I thought could have done a lot better. So I'll also set that up very soon as well. So let's start with comics you can easily walk into, and let's start with that with and Action Comics Annual Issue 2. I know issue. Well, it's an annual comic, so they might come out at least once a year, maybe. But basically, for this issue, kind of picks up where the last Superman issue kind of left off, which I totally saw coming. Basically being another Hell. Oh, someone tell me how you pronounce this too stupid name. It's another Hell story, and so far, not bad. Yeah, it's cheesy as Superman can get. But I like it. I like it. Yeah, not everyone who's into Superman will like the story, but hey, if you've read the Hell on Earth, and maybe you didn't like that as such, and maybe you just threw your entire Superman collection out the window, but if you didn't, here is a much better story. But if you read Hell on Earth, it gives you a better idea of who the hell the character is. Oh, and also read the Hell villain special. But you don't exactly have to read the villain special to get what's going on. Basically, the story is Hillel. I still can't pronounce his name. Someone, for the love of God, tell me how to pronounce it. Uh, is basically Anyway, sorry. Hillel is basically with his crazy time traveling shenanigans, has basically done everything he can to make sure Krypton survived, even though it's pretty much it, like even through the dawn of time itself from time gods that pretty much Krypton is doomed to begin with. So basically, he does everything he can to his power, even time traveling back to stop himself from making mistakes on Krypton when he first did. Anyway, because of the time traveling shenanigans, apparently it's causing some sort of time typhoon, which is basically destroying the universe as we speak. All in all, this seems like a good time traveling story. If you actually think about it, seems much better than Age of Ultron. I can tell you that much right now. But I actually like this. It starts with you get the Superman, Supergirl, and Superboy all get the explanation of what the heck is going on, and and basically the Oracle, no, not Batgirl, sadly, this giant light blue statue in space. And apparently, we find out his full name is the Oracle of Time. Which, if someone told me that sooner, he would have been more awesome. But I get that no one wanted to spoil the next story. But I'm still liking it for one because of time travel. You get to see General Zod's girlfriend. I apologize for all you fans out there. I get her name wrong. Lana? No, that's not it. Anyway, basically the girl who's always with Zod. Basically, she's not exactly a villain because of time traveling shenanigans. She's actually like a good guy here, and I actually like how you see a different version trying to help out. You get to to see like all the different what time travel has done, which is basically it saved Krypton, but its spirit is gone forever. So basically, they have to go back to certain points in time and stop to stop certain events from happening, or to let certain events happen in this case. And I'm actually prepared to collect the other issues in need to see how the story goes, because I'm really intrigued. Like, one, you get to see the Kryptonian Clone Wars. No, not Star Wars. I mean, like, they literally fight, like, Kryptonians fight these clones, like these actual clones. And Superman fan is basically like due to cloning for medical parts, or just the clones in general have gone insane. Take your pick. And I'm actually intrigued of seeing that. For Superboy, you get to see like him and meeting Supergirl, who doesn't have powers or hates Superboy's guts, because well, he's also a clone of Superman. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay, New 52. He's a clone of Superman's son from a supposed future. Yeah, 8 time travel. Anyway, and Superman finally gets to meet his parents. For Superman fans who probably have seen this once or twice, for me, you will probably get bored. For me, however, I actually like the idea because you rarely see Superman meeting his parents. Like, yeah, you see him talk to his dad through like, I'm a digital copy of your father. We even gets to meet his mom, which I'm thinking hot damn, yet hasn't exactly been done before. So I'm actually hoping to see what the other issues foretell for Superman, Superboy, and Superboy. So yeah, pick this up if you haven't, or you can probably wait till the graphic novel. It's just either one. Sounds like it's gonna be one heck of a ride. All right, next up, and I'm guessing that we really need another. Um, like, you ever know if, like, for stories, there's always, like, the prequel chapter kind of thing? We need another prequel chapter for the story arc? Because, like, we already been through one, let's go through another just for the heck of it. Basically, okay, the comic I'm talking about is called Cataclysm. As you probably have seen from Age of Ultron, is basically the end of the Ultimate Marvel Universe. I really hope it's not the end. I really like the Ultimate Marvel series. I wish it continued forever, but yeah, that's never going to happen. I think. Anyway, basically, if you haven't been paying attention, there was a mini series called The Hunger, which is basically showing Galactus entering the Ultimate Marvel Universe, and the heroes in space are trying, heroes who aren't living on Earth are trying to stop him. So far, it was a really good story, but eventually it ended going like, okay, Galactus somehow merges his alternate version of himself, which is also known as Herald, when you can think about that. So basically, he seems more metallic. So it seems that screams, holy shit, he's more powerful than ever. It seems physically impossible, but hot damn, that he like that. The Galactus just looked epically awesome to me. Like by the end of it, basically, if you did miss it, basically, long story short, they end up going back to square one. It's like, yes, the universe is saved for now. You only just postpone the inevitable. Where basically Galactus will go to the highest point of energy. That is the universe. Earth is the one with the most energy. And it seems kind of sad for the universe now that I think about it. Anyway, basically, we're going back to square one, and Galactus looks like himself again. But without the ultimate version of him called Galactus, which is like 3 names. Weird. Anyway, this one was fairly like Cataclysm 0.1. Yes, because we want a point 1 issue. That's to show how threatening Galactus is. Like, we don't know that already if you're a fan of comics. Basically, the story is basically Galactus is on his way to Earth. And someone does actually try to stop him. And also at the same time warn the heroes that Galactus is coming. Because they have no idea he's coming. Like, he's over here in Flushford Earth. Shit, how do we stop this bad god? Yeah. It's basically the hero who tries to stop him is the Vision. And before you start thinking Vision, like before you start thinking the main Marvel Vision look, hold your horses for a second. If you haven't been reading Ultimate Marvel, this version of Vision at first looked like, well, a red and black looking android at first, but when he repaired himself, he became a golden metallic female version of himself. Which I actually was okay with. The Vision comics are not that bad. But anyway, that's not the point of here. This story, like for here, we see the Vision trying to stop Galactus, or at least force him back into it to leave this universe. She fails. Yeah, she pretty much fails badly here. Yeah, she does not succeed. But really, if you're having a we already have, if you've been checking the internet, we already have like multiple like the event comic and miniseries circling around Galactus being on Earth. So you probably figured she wasn't going to make it, or at least fail. Although I think the saddest touch is basically like while she's giving the speech at Galactus is coming, is that she gives like the final speech to her loved one Sam Wilson, who is the best Avenger that I like. Well, he's actually he's one of my personal favorites, but yeah. There's just oh man, that was heart wrenching right there. She finally admits she loves him, and yeah, it's just sad. Also, the most annoying thing is that she says the only one who could probably stop Galactus, giving Earth a chance, and the keyword is a chance. This is like a Mega Man game where it's set on difficulty. You can never win. That But the only one who could stop Galactus is Reed Richards. If you've also been paying attention to Ultimate Marvel, he turned evil, blew up most of Washington, well, blew up most of the like, uh, blew up most of the leading leaders of the United States of America. So he actually went through several interesting stories like that, and he took over the world and tried to make it better, thanks to time, thanks to time traveling Krang and the idea of Infinity Gauntlet, which proved nothing when Galactus showed up. Yeah. Anyway, this is actually actually a good prequel if you haven't even read Hunger at all. Which I think is that miniseries is gonna skip a lot up to this point. But yeah, if you want to know how Cataclysm is going to happen, this is actually a good start for a must read. I will review issue 1 because it's the first issue. Um, Once it's on stores, which is in a few days. Well, to me, in this perspective, the way I'm making this video. All right, next up, and fans might be happy about this. I've heard bad reviews. It's like 2 stars. I didn't find it that bad. Like an average, like a 7.4 out of 10. Maybe, like it's not that bad. The comic is Damian, Son of Batman, issue 1. Now, you probably haven't heard this. Another Robin has died. No, it's not Jason Todd or Stephanie Brown, the main DC's female Robin, not the first female Robin. Anyway, and after when I read the issue because of the reprints and basically everyone bought the issue because Robin has died, which even though nobody liked the series the comic was in. Sorry. And my own emotions getting ahead of me on that one. Anyway, for the sort of for here I felt the death to be the whole entire thing was something you already knew was going to happen. Damian was going to die. But that's not the comic we're reviewing. That's maybe another time, if ever. Damian Son of Batman is basically a kind of like a Marvel's What If or DC's Elseworld of the comic, where basically Damian if Damian had lived, and I think if you have not been reading anything about Batman, like any Batman comic, but you know what Batman was, but who doesn't know what Batman is? Anyway, it's pretty much what if this is what Damian Wayne if he lived and from some of the comics eventually become a very dark Batman. was amazing as the new Batman. I had to say, like he has the bat cowl, and his costume looks like he's wearing a trench coat. It just looks awesome. Anyway, here it's like it was like drawn and written because there's very few North American comics that are both written and drawn by the same guy. Maybe well, except for well, the only time you ever get to see that would be mangas from Japan. Mangas are Japanese comics, if you didn't know. But other than that, like it's very hard to find stuff that's made like here, done by the same guy. Like it's very few or very well known, especially from companies like DC. And it's like he was drawn and written by the co-creator of Damian Wayne, Andy. Hold on, I'm gonna double check his name. There we go. Yeah, Andy Kubert. And basically, all you need to know, and I think he didn't bother. Like personally, I'm a little disappointed because I don't think he actually bothered reading what Damian Wayne was doing after he stopped working on the character. I think it's one of the things that might annoy fans at most. Because of if this was the dark future that was going to happen because of Grant Morrison was showing everybody, then wouldn't stuff already altered and changed because of what Grant Morrison has been writing? I think that was the only thing that was weird for a fan if you haven't been a fan of Damian Wayne and knew what was going on. Here, though, because I don't think Andy was paying attention to it. Like, you only need to pay attention. Like, any backstory of Damian Wayne was from the story arc of Batman and Son, which is the only time you see Andy Kubert actually was drawing, and also when Grant Morrison first started drawing that epically long and very confusing if you haven't been paying. And he just walked in randomly to a random issue of his own series of Batman, which is basically, wow, it was actually a good story. But no, it's just now a lot of people like Damian when he first appeared, and he thought he was adorable. Here, I guess he was keeping a few notes, I guess, because he actually does eventually become a likable character, of course, I kind of question, because here he's found he's either 18 and Batman is much older, and I always kind of question if he's Robin. Why would Batman let him carry katanas? Like Leonardo, he has him on his back, like Leonardo from Ninja Turtles. Why would you bring that? Anyway, as you see Batman getting killed, which kind of felt like when Damian Wayne was killed, but much shorter. And basically, it's kind of got started with just Damian eventually becoming his own Batman in a sense. I won't spoil it because it actually is it's not that bad a read. If you have no clue, but you just want to, but you're interested anyway, yeah, it's not a bad issue. If you're a total complete fanboy who might make a web page about this character or anything about Batman mythos, you might be a little disappointed. Actually, you might be just disappointed. I don't know. But I actually enjoy the story, although the ending is a bit confusing because it feels like a bad, like those sidekick comics I found were basically oh. Yeah, anyway, I'm not gonna spoil that one for you. I'm gonna wait for the next issues after myself to see what the heck is going on. All right, let's move on to the Superior Spider-Man issue 20. Yeah, after the whole time travel fiasco and Horizon Labs, that was the place that used to work, as I say, because Horizon Labs has been no longer been shut down, blown up, and most of his co-workers went out to sea. They didn't die, and they took a boat and actually said, we're going on a new horizon for Horizon Labs. And basically figures out a job. Thanks, Doc Ock. If you haven't not been paying attention, chances are you might. That Doc Ock is Spider-Man. I feel like a broken record just saying that every time I mention Superior Spider-Man. Just figuring some random person just end up picking up and had no clue what happened to Spidey. Anyway, yeah, Doc Ock's in Spider-Man's body, and this is actually not a bad comic, because for those of you who do know this, who do know Doc Ock Spider-Man, you all probably have been waiting when Doc Ock finally slips and people start noticing something's amiss. 20 issues, finally people start noticing something's amiss. uh, like some of your friends who were cops actually now have legit evidence to say, yeah, something. This is not Peter Parker. He's able to use Doc Ock's secret accounts and maybe bring it to the Avengers. And also, like, because Doc Ock's in Peter's body and he's not a doctor trying to get his doctorate. Oh man, sucks when some of Doc Ock's old friends back before we went nuts. Um, actually notice his Doc Ock's work, and they might expel him for, well, taking other people's work, which you should never do. Never. Because no one likes a copycat. Or at least if you are using someone, say, for fan fiction purposes, say, I do not own this. At all. I think that would. But no, like never use it for profit or gain. You're taking somebody else's idea. But chances are it's already out there, or somebody knows, and you will, and they will bust you on that faster than you can ever imagine. Anyway, as you may have noticed on the cover, it looked like Spidey and Black Cat are getting pretty cozy. And since it's Doc Ock in Peter's body, most of you might think, oh god, it's gotta be rape, isn't it? Nope, not rape. Not rape at all. Surprisingly, because this is Doc Ock we're talking about here, who's trying to be good, but doesn't have any approved memories. He literally goes up to the Black Cat, beats the tar out of her. Like, he just made an enemy out of Black Cat. Like, he basically punched her, like, literally punched the tooth out of her. And basically ruined a heist, and basically she's now swearing revenge. And there's a lot of people swearing revenge over what Doc Ock has done, or what has happened to him, as you'll find out that a former ally slash lover, like a former ally slash lover of Doc Ock, wants revenge on what she assumes is his pure, like, disability, pure hunger. So, this is definitely a pickup. If you want to see Doc Ock actually screw up and actually get caught and start actually falling into the same hole that he's always been as a villain, or starring to up again, it's actually a good key point because this actually was a fun read. I kid you not. Yeah, if you're not a fan of the whole Doc Ock Spidey thing, you can skip it. But if you finally want to see him actually screw up, and people are actually starting to see something's amiss, yeah, Spider-Man, Superior Spider-Man issue 20 is a must-read if you're interested. If not, yeah, it's pretty much, you can figure from after hearing what Marvel announced that in December Peter Parker's coming back to life. Thank you, Jeff, for leaving that revolving door out for us. Alright, let's go to the last comic. And personally for me, and I don't know about all of you, personally for me, because I did like the series, because I was a huge fan of, well, I'm gonna say it, Ninja Turtles. Yes, Cowabunga dude. As a huge, as a fan of Ninja Turtles, there's stories I like, stories I didn't like. This one is one of the much better stories. I would told if you're a fan of Ninja Turtles or certain two characters from the old '80s cartoon, you are going to enjoy this comic. Ninja Turtle fans rejoice because this is the Ninja Turtle Micro Series issue 7 featuring Bebop and Rocksteady. And just looking at this cover is amazing. Oh, the art looks totally different from the cover. That's a little disappointment. But the interior art It's a little cartoony, but it's just good and colorful that grabs your attention. It's just man, like this is like a new modernized version, so they're not that stupid. Like they're smart enough going like we'll cut her off at the pass, kind of thing. And that they're just so destructive that they'll destroy more than just standard. Like because they don't know their own strength, they end up just doing more harm than just by just being themselves. Not even kidding. And also, I like to point out that they're more of Karai's henchmen than Shredder's henchmen. Karai is well, it's basically a relative to Shredder in the any like cartoons and old comics. She was Shredder's daughter here. She's his You know what? Just say great granddaughter because there's so many greats because Shredder's from the feudal era. Yeah, that's a whole other story for that. I can assure you. But other than that, oh man, I had such a fun read. Even with very little dialogue, or you just never knew what the heck's going on in the Ninja Turtleverse. This is still a fun read. Like if you're like I'd be surprised if there are still issues of these left. Because if Ninja Turtle fans who haven't who have probably heard about this and used the internet have already rushed to the nearest comic book store and actually bought a copy already. Again, I'm sorry about the delay, and I will post another video much sooner, probably before the end of this week. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.